Bro, Asura's Wrath is insane. And it's hands down one of the greatest movies I have ever played. So you know I had to talk about it. I'm gonna give you one piece of information before we dive into this. Asura equals a crash out. Do I even need to say more? Okay then let's get into it. Before we dive into this devious get back, let me break down the story for you. So there are these dusty, generic evil things called the Goma, who roam the land and kill the people, taking their life energy and giving it to the Goma Velitra, the protector of the earth. And the only way to kill them is this super weapon called the Brahmastra, which uses life energy, also called Mantra. So they're 8 elite gods put up to defeat the Velitra. But bro, we're not here for that. We know you want to see some scrapping. So they frame Asura for the death of the Emperor, kill his wife and snatch his daughter, because she can give guys power boosts with her prayers. But he's not having that, pulling up clean as hell on all the gods. And off rip, this bum is trying to boss convo. Like bro, who are you? But Asura was not trying to hear him out. He just got straight to scrapping. But unfortunately, he got smited by this bum named Deus, who really started talking about some, I plan to save the world, and I can only do it once you're dead. And started hitting bro with all sorts of lightning he really thought he was for. And Asura's eyes rolling and everything. Then lifted bro up with one hand and really fried him. Yo, hey, Deus might just be him, I can't even lie to you. Then he dropped Asura off the side of the spaceship to plummet to Earth. So don't even act dumb when you start doing these gods extremely dirty. You know they deserve it. And with the help of the Golden Spider, who basically instigates bro every opportunity he gets, bro. Like he wants him to be mad as possible at all times. But remember him, because he will be important later. So Asura goes to get his revenge on all the gods. And the first god he gets his hands on is this fat scrub Wyzen, who pulled up trying to destroy this village to kill Asura. So Asura put the pause on all his lackeys. But I'm getting onto bro like he's not an issue. We denched this fake Buddha and slumped him. But something is pulling up behind him. He got that, he right behind me isn't he, face. Just for a random elephant to pull up out of nowhere. I'm gonna be honest, the game just started so I was shook. So when I saw my savior fall from the sky, I was low-key cheesing. Because this is undoubtedly one of the cleanest pull-ups of all time. But he had to ruin it with this yap.
They give me fruit to eat, you know what I'm saying? I forgot what fruit had, tasted like. I eat pears now. Shout out to all the Shut your
Damn! I don't even have to say it, but let the scrapping begin. Because after fighting Wyzen for a little bit, Asura dashes in on bro and grabs his entire face, slams him, and yeets him off the side of the cliff. And I was thinking, damn bro, is that it? Just to see a massive hand emerge from the depths had Asura quaking, because he clearly didn't know he was messing with. But Wyzen started flexing on bro, telling him he got this new power from his daughter.
Me personally.
The one that they snatched after killing your wife and framing you? By the way, Asura lost his memory, and this is really where the tweaking began. But after Wyzen gets his get back, snatching Asura and tossing like a mile away. But he really stops his momentum and gets right back on Wyzen's neck, running up on him. He tries to rock his jaw, but Asura weaves those, leaping up the rocks in the air, then flying down on that boy, and weaves another punch, just to run up his shoulder and spins Wyzen's jaw. But bro must have forgot he's bite-sized, because Wyzen hit him with that OG Vegeta attack, smarting low bro. Then used his secret Diddy technique, sitting on my goat? Asura looking up knowing damn well he can't handle all that, and started beating on him. And I'm not even trying to laugh, but look at bro's face, he's not even on this planet right now. But Asura remembered, he's him, and caught his fist, and grew 4 extra arms. He tossed Wyzen in the air and flexed on him. But as soon as bro started feeling the pressure, he starts calling for help. You are literally a giant, get up and box. This is the definition of soft, you're barely losing. Asura blows up his dusty ship, and they post up on each other. Then start dashing, and both leap up, and just look at the size difference. But it doesn't matter, he grabs his finger and throws him again. And Wyzen finally stops ducking the smoke, flying down with the right. But Asura never ducks the smoke, clashing with them, just to punch his hand away and fly into his stomach. and really stretched bro out, no diddy.
Pause.
Why is his skin so flexible? And sent him to the stratosphere. But after watching Goku vs Vegeta, we know damn well this fight wasn't over. But bro really started powering up again. And I'll be honest, he's just gonna get fatter. That's it really. He's not even anything too Hold on. Oh hell no. Bro started peering over the entire planet. Got Asura looking like that one Willem Dafoe meme. Imagine chilling in your crib and seeing bro outside your whole planet posted up like this. But he really raises one finger and brings it down on the earth. And at this point, I'm running or I'm going out with Aura. Asura chose none of those options. Bro plants the right foot, then the left foot, and opens his arms up accepting the smoke. Then had the audacity to actually catch his finger. And look at the size of it. But in this moment, with a finger the size of a mountain on his head, he wants to have a flashback. Like bro, right here, right now. But it was worth it though. Because he gained all his memory back and entered his true crash out state. And Wizen knew it was up for him. Hold on, we gotta change the music real quick. Oh yeah, this is it right here. This is it right here. This is it right here. He starts punching the hand, bro. Like, you know that's not gonna work. His arms really start falling off his body. But he does not care. And with one arm left, he punches the finger with so much rage, it destroys Wizen's whole body. And bro, this is just the first scrap in the entire game. It just gets better from here. But hold on. I'm acting like the scrapping is done. As another op pulls up. Yasha the GOAT. Now I know I was flaming him a little bit earlier, but he's really a GOAT. You'll see soon. But yeah, he cooks Asura, bro. I mean, what could he actually do in this situation? At least we knocked the mask off his face. That's gotta be something. And yeah, I'm using this meme from this point on. Homie looks disappointed. And that's really the first fade he ran. But unfortunately, not all the fades were this cold. As the next time we see Asura, he's locked up between these two rock formations. And bro is literally stone. How does he go from packing up Wizen to being turned into a fossil? But you know they can't hold my boy down. He busts out the rock formation and instantly starts looking at his arms. Wait, hold on. When did he get his arms back? Hey, someone in the comment, come and help me please, I beg. Because how does bro keep getting his arms back? Like, do they respawn? Did someone build them for him? I don't even care, I'm not even going to complain. But I love how bad things follow him around. This girl prays to him every day. But the one day he breaks out of the rock, she gets snatched by the Goma. Bro, is that not suspicious to you? So he packed them up and saved the girl and her village from a massive toll. Just for Kaoru to pull up. This geriatric scrub is the brains of the operation. And that's all he really could be, talking about some. So this is where I felt that matcha concentration. How disappointing. As if he doesn't know Asura is like that. But he starts abusing his power, knowing the people are going to pray to him as a god, and kills them to gather their life energy / mantra. And they just let it happen. But Asura ain't swinging at bro, just for it to be a hologram. Hold on, you really thought I was going to throw hands with you? Want to have an entire army? In a bit, low, bro. But Asura mopped those scrubs up. But this is just a scene I have to talk about. He pulls up this generic grunt, talking about some, no, please. Picks him up, and look how bro looks away to the side. Like if he can't see the issue is just going to go away. And he plants his entire fist in his face. But he must have thought he had Aura talking about some, leave me be. Who was he talking to? Asura had to press him. Then slammed the fist in his face again and grinded it. Had bro's chin touching his nose. Oh nah. But Asura saw this little girl crashing up just as hard as he was. Really beating on a dead man. So he told her to chill and let him handle this. And pulls up on Kaoru. But why did bro hit the floor to fly up? Guys should be doing anything for underage girls, bro. But you wish it was that easy. Kaoru throws his entire army at Asura. He landed in an empty ship. And Kaoru popped up like that forehead guy from Crash Bandicoot. And got every ship to shoot at him. But instead of jumping out the ship, he stands in it posing. Talking about some.
I'm not the one who started this fire.
Okay.
Yeah, Asura, I think we know that. We just saw Kaoru shoot at you, I don't know why he said this like this was clean. But Kaoru said, I got one more in me. sending the entire army after him. And this is when Asura starts moving, jumps off the ship that gets blown up behind him and flies straight to Kaoru. But you see, Asura had a problem. Kaoru already planned for that and had his lackeys throwing up hand signs like they were rapping, charging up his cannon right in front of Asura and boomed him. Really had bro in the distance looking like Team Rocket, and he laughing way too hard right now. Asura put him in his place real quick. He looks on that iPad just to see Asura on his strip, literally. And he wasted no camera time, got straight to me mugging, really startled the old man. But now that he's shook, he's bringing out the big guns. Because we all know anyone's dangerous with a piece. But after cooking that gunman, what do you think the mastermind Kaoru did? The brains of the operation. He gave a bigger guy a bigger gun. And this is when I knew them boys were not a threat. But anyway, we dragged this bomb all the way to Kaoru's spot and burst through his floor plan. Had that old man looking up at Asura as he flew past him and landed right next to Lil Bro. And look how Asura looked at him. Yeah, don't run now, come here. But when Asura went to grab Lil Bro, no, he was another hologram. Let me just make a formal apology to Kaoru real quick. He low-key got me with this one. He was all the way in an escape pod, chilling.
Good luck. Good luck trying to find me. Good luck.
Wait, what I need luck for? I don't need a thing.
What do you mean?
I'm in your house!
But Kaoru starts explaining that killing people is saving the planet. And unfortunately, it actually was. As the Goma would use the March Rod to take over the Earth. So the gods gathered it to kill the Goma, which saves the Earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, as for you can let him slide, right? No, he cannot. No, he cannot. And Asura plummets back to Earth again. And he ready to run another fade. But don't even worry, the next fade comes to him. August pulls up behind Homegirl and automatically starts stepping to Asura, laughing. And I'll be honest, I was a little nervous. I didn't want a repeat of last time. Just for bro to wake up in a hot spring, and I'm gonna be honest, this is when I had to question Asura. August, who used to train Asura, which is why they're mad close, puts Asura on a little two-man step. And I was rubbing my hands together and licking my lips. I was down. But bro, Asura has no riz. Why is there a quick time event to stop him from looking at the biddies? I had to flick up for bro. How am I helping you lock in? And is August broke? Is this hot spring communal? Why is there randoms in the hot spring? But tell me why Asura gets up and starts trying to assault the girl, bro. Your wife just died. Your daughter is still missing. And all bro had to do to distract you is bring out the baddies. August told him to sit your butt down. Really slump my boy. This is like 6 L's right here. He really fallen out of the GOAT conversation. This is a stain on his resume. But you know the festivities had to end. As these boys rise up from the hot spring, ready for a legendary fade. And let the scrapping begin. These boys are posted up on the moon. No Despicable Me. But Asura flies in landing the first blow. Hold on. Pause his music. Bro didn't even move an inch. Ate that blow with a smile like he in a cereal commercial. And showed what a real punch looks like. And he gets up mad as hell, bringing out the 6 arms. And they get stuck in. Asura gets August on the defensive, rocking him with the right, trying to land a 2-piece, but clashed with August instead. And this was just simply cinema. They start boxing, but Asura gets rocked. But he right back in it and gets rocked again. But he learns from his mistakes, no Iron Man, giving one right back to August. And now August is getting into it, cracking Asura with the uppercut. But Asura starts getting used to the punches. But he said, I got one for you. And they get back to squabbling. Asura hits him with a counter right and put a little spin on it just for a little extra kick. Had August examining space rocks. But guys like August, they love the game. They love the hustle. He was waiting for someone to take his sword out on. And Asura was that someone. And now you know bro is done playing. He swung that sword one time, forcing Asura to push it to the side. And his blade split a piece of the moon. I hope you guys are realizing what we're messing with now. And we get to boxing. But Asura once again knocks August back. And just look at the excitement on his face. He knows he got something up his sleeve. Really telling bro, all good things must come to an end. And really copied Gin's sword from Bleach, extending it to Asura. But you know when I said Asura learns from his mistakes? I clearly was lying. Because he still tries to catch the sword. Like if he dodged it, it would have been free eats. But the sword does not stop extending, pushing him off the moon, plummeting. And August starts hawking bro down and leaps up and starts falling with Asura. And this scene alone is just wild to me. There's no regard for health at all, just two men falling from the sky. But Asura's trying to smack like he's not falling rapidly to his demise. Asura, by the way, your arm is falling off again, bro. Your arm is falling off again. But deep what August is yapping about.
I'll say it once more. I am you, and you are me.
But Asura hits the earth hard, and August's blade does not stop, piercing the other side of the earth. But peep game and lock in. This is some unusual tech. Asura waits for August to reach near to him, and breaks the sword, knocking it out of his hand. Then catches it with his mouth, and cuts August down. Oh my, bro, that was legendary. But he was not done showing off. As out of nowhere, this gigantic creature starts walking towards them. He really changed the weather and everything. But Asura takes August's blade and starts dashing at it. And I don't even know what he did, but it clearly worked. And damn, bro got turned into stone again. Like, bro, is that all you do? And on that note, we on the next fade. Olga. Oh my, bro, I just hate her so much. Asura breaks out the Roxanne and is led to this girl's village for repairs. But Olga pulls up. And in her first minute of screen time, she blows up the entire village. But that didn't really affect Asura. I mean, he's just too weak to clap back. Until this little girl runs by with her brother. Olga sees this and wastes no time trying to drop bombs on little kids. And that's exactly what she did. And all Asura saw after this was her dead body on the floor. And he just couldn't handle that. Bro's raging so hard it was blowing up ships, but pre the drip. This is undoubtedly one of the cleanest rage forms I've seen. Got that Naruto Kyuubi mode aesthetic. He shot a Biju bomb at her that grazed her ship, and she saw the destruction behind her and skedaddled, leaving my boy on Earth mad as hell, screaming like he made the pimp a butterfly. And we all know who he's taking it out on. And we on to the next god.
He is too much of a threat. He must be stopped here and now.
Wait, hold on.
Ready the Brahmastra.
Ready the what? Oh nah. She's really trying to use the Brahmastra on Asura. And this is why I call Yasha the GOAT. He hears what happens and automatically springs to action to save his homeboy. And this is one of my favorite missions in the entire game. The music was slapping, the gameplay was top tier, and the cutscenes were hitting, bro. They try and stop my boy and deep the combo. He hits them with the cross slash, then hops off the roof and dunks on them. But he dents one of these fat boys and reaches the Brahmastra. But he was simply too late. She shoots the Brahmastra straight at Asura. And it's the same thing with Wizen. He puts up on it ASAP, charging up the Biju bomb, doing up beam clashes like it's sparking zero. But he clearly wasn't mashing hard enough. The beam slapped him. But Yasha flies up and boots it, kicking it off his trajectory, and deep the jaw spinach, looking like he hit a real person. But he freed up Asura from being disintegrated and backed his boy. That's my goat right there. That's my goat right there. But they laid Asura out, finally calming him down. But I was feeling like Asura after seeing this next god, Sergei. They went back to back with the evil gods, bro. Like, they started off alright, but now it's just getting nefarious. Yasha goes to stop a village from being destroyed by the Goma. Sergei wants to blow up the village and gather their life energy. And instead of helping Yasha, even though he was actively stopping the attack, Sergei blew up the village anyway. And just look at the excitement on his face. He's actually just one weirdo. He's just a weirdo, bro. And obviously, he's trying to hide behind his weak morals. The same morals that him and Yasha stand behind. And it's a tough situation for Yasha because he knows that killing the...
What's good?
Hold on. Let me stop yapping. Because look at what Asura just did to him. Nah, all that talking, all that grinning, now you packed up. And he roared with the ship exploding in the background. Oh, yo, he's too clean. Asura really got him bleeding and held him up by his neck. Oh, nah. But you know Asura had to let him get his final words out. But why is he smiling? He does not care about dying. He really went out instigating, because he starts talking about the day Asura got banished. But he made sure to emphasize the fact it was him that killed Asura's wife.
You what?
AKA Yasha's sister. No, it can't be, bro. It's just not possible, bro. And listen to the laugh. But Asura told bro he was doing too much talking, slammed him and stomps on him. And he looked at Yasha like he wants a piece. But Yasha ain't deep in it because he's giving out inspirational quotes. A man who thinks all the time has nothing to think. Wait, hold on. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Chill. Hit Yasha with the drive-by Superman punch. But let the scrapping begin. They box for a little until Yasha hits bro with a gut punch. Just for him to get up automatically and start dashing at him. But Yasha weaves the blow and leaps back. And Asura gets on his neck, throwing a crazy combo at him, which all miss. But all he needed was one. Crack Yasha with a heavy punch. Put bro in the rocks like he did him earlier. But Yasha was done playing with bro. You cracked his mask and everything. He pulls up with Asura, pauses, then uppercuts him. Now he got that bum's attention, had his mouth gaping and everything. And you know it's about to get down. Yasha flies in on Asura, rocking his jaw, then rocks it again. Dashes him with the uppercut to the gut, throws out with the left, then the right uppercut. But Asura gets one back with the right hand. And the game runs back to his bread and butter, because they start clashing again. But Yasha shifted to the next gear with this blue electricity power and grabs Asura and throws him into a wall. But Asura really said, hold on, I got one more in me. Starts flaring up with that red aura and clashes with Yasha. But he's simply too strong, knocking the rage off of Big Bro. And really said, hold on, I got business to attend to. Wait for my return. And I was just as stand as Asura, because if bro knocked the rage off you and dipped out, you'll be perplexed too. But Asura passes out and Yasha dips off the Shinto and says he is no longer Yasha of the 7 deities, denouncing his old name and pulls up on Lord Deus. But whilst that's going down, Asura wakes up. And you would have thought he would have calmed down after having the rage knocked out of him. But you clearly don't know who we're talking about right here. He's as angry as ever, and he going for one person. He looks up and he's like, hold on, that's your shit right there? Say less. Punches the floor and is on his way to stomp on Deus. But when he gets there, look who's flying past him. Yasha. And he's trying to get right back in there. But Asura stops him because, you know, sharing is caring. I'm trying to fight too. And this is when Deus pulls up, aka Lightning Ganondorf, with the freezer pose. And of course, Asura starts tweaking. Had Yasha look at him like,
hey, no, stop, just calm down, don't do it.
But Asura's got something new for these men. Bro unlocked the controlled rage mode and dashes at Deus. But he was like, hold on, let me chill. I want to crash out, but I guess I need to know where my daughter is. He grabs bro by the neck, pressing him. But he does not care about that. He really was charging up to smite Asura, who got saved by Yasha. With that one Xenoverse ultimate, all the cheeses be using. I'm talking about you. They really arguing over who can fight Deus. None of you can. But that's not any of our businesses, bro. I just want to see him box. And that's exactly what they did. Asura grows to 6 arms and trying to go on that type of timing. But Deus dashes behind him, talking about some over here. Then leaps up and head kicks Lil Bro with torque. But Asura, too mad to feel pain, gets up ASAP and tries to swing at him. But he's gone. And Deus starts toying with bro. Just teleporting away before he can hit him. I don't know why you're trying to make him mad. He's the wrong one. Deus tries to end it with a Chidori because he be stealing from everyone. He thinks he's Kakashi. But Yasha is on the other side. Then beams Deus through Asura. I can't lie. That's a high IQ play right there. I gotta put Yasha over Asura when it comes to flair, bro. But Deus was doing flips just to peak the most nefarious dropkick, looking like Bowser's forward smash. Both feet planted on the cranium. But he wipes his nose and starts yapping, like Asura's got a pop quiz at the end of the month. We're not trying to hear that. Asura gets all up on him and hits him with all 3 fists. Then holds him up. But there's some other stuff. He talking about attaining power greater than a god to defeat the Vlitra. Bro, we here to defeat you. We do not care about no Vlitra. But bro started summoning some new power, some unforeseen stuff. And the Brahmastra becomes an entire genie, Give my boy some feet though, he looking kinda stupid. So Yasha summons his cold little ship and Ashura posts up on the front of it. And they start hawking Deus down, running clean through his bummy army. But Bro thinks he's Netero, opening up his arms trying to catch them. But they barely escape and head straight for Deus and Mithra. Ashura sees Mithra and flies towards her, trying to save his daughter, but gets smited. And Deus shows off his new form. And do I even have to say it? Let the jumping begin. It's a little bit different this time. This is when Ashura and Yasha start locking in. Ashura runs straight at Deus and was going to get struck, but Yasha blocks it, getting hit instead, leaving Ashura with the open lane for the mean left. But Deus eats that and sends him flying, just for Yasha to come through in a zigzag, but gets blocked. But as Deus goes to swing, Ashura comes back, forcing him on defense, but he parries both. But they get right back to jumping him. But Deus puts up a nunchuck wall, which them boys crack and kick him in his spine. But he packs them boys up, had Yasha on the wall looking goofy again, then pulls up on Ashura. But Mithra wakes up, and this scene just made me so mad. She wakes up and starts giving power-ups to the op, had Deus excited as hell, stomping all over Ashura. But they stay picking on the wrong one. Ashura does not play. Even without the power-up, he starts rising, just to get kicked down again. But you gave Ashura an inch, he's taking a mile. Grabs Bro's leg and throws him, and dashes him with the lariat like he's from the hidden cloud, juggling Deus. He hits a backflip trying to recover, but he pulled it behind Deus on the wall, trying to rock his jaw. And he's still trying to justify his actions, yapping about some, Mithra must cry until the world is saved. Just for him to come through with the left uppercut, had Bro doing cartoon backflips, then swings to the right, which had Deus pinned up on the wall just like Yasha, but he pulls up with a similar power up to what Yasha had earlier, yapping about some, if my plan is stupid, you defeat Vlitra then. And Ashura's like, hold on.
That is my intention!
Charging up the right hand, then had the audacity to have this clean after explosion. Bro burnt the mask off of him. And just look how Bro is posted up. He needed a minute to really deep what just happened to him, because Ashura put Deus on his back, defeating him. But that's really how Ashura destroyed all 7 deities and saved his daughter. I appreciate you boys for coming through. I appreciate you boys for coming. Hold on. Bro, come on, bro. Why is there more? Because the moment Deus touched Earth, the Vlitra decided to come back. Bro couldn't even get a second with his daughter. And this thing is not normal. Got his tentacles taking over half the Earth. Wait, Deus, you're still here? Damn, go away, bro. No one wants to hear from you anymore. You're trash. You're washed. But Ashura knows that he has to kill Vlitra to save Earth. And he's ready to box ASAP. But remember when I said he couldn't spend time with his daughter? He really just didn't want to. She wakes up to see Yasha and her dad is right there. But if she's in the way of the hands, he's not rocking with her. And this is the finale right here. So strap all the way in and let the scrapping occur per chance. Ashura and Yasha are on the move, flying towards the Vlitra. And the Goma are trying to stop them. But we know them boys are light work, bro. We ain't worried about them. So they pull up on the Vlitra, just for Bro to have an entire face in the ground, looking at that one tree from Zelda, and waste no time shooting beams at my boy. And Yasha's standing there looking dumb. Bro, move! Force Ashura to jump in to protect him like Piccolo. But both them boys get blasted, and they start deep in the fact that they may not be like that. Nah, I'm trolling. You know them boys don't quit. But Mithra starts praying. And you saw what I did for that scrub Deus, giving my guys new power. But hold on, count the lefts and the rights on the screen. Bro grew hella new arms and fused them into his normal arms, creating Mantra Asura. And now we know he done playing. He's flying at the face, but he's right back to using them beams. But he must not peep the power up, because they start flying right through it and team up to destroy the Vlitra's core. But it is not over, as something bursts out of the core. The Vlitra's final form. And this design is tough as hell, with the oversized arms and everything. But Yasha talking about some, it looks like you when it gets angry. And Ashura asks the burning question, is it as strong? They start stepping towards Bro for the final squabble. But we cut to a little later in the fight. Vlitra shoots a beam at Ashura, which he punches. But he must have forgot these boys don't run the ones, as Yasha jumps over him and kicks it. Then flies in with the right hand, but Vlitra starts resisting the punch easily. So Ashura flies in, and together they destroy the Vlitra once and for all. There we go, let's go. The boys finally won and ended the never-ending war. Asura finally gets to be with his daughter. Oh my, they're gonna live a happy little life. They'll be together forever. It's so beautiful.
Come on, man. That's too easy.
Because I knew you guys were asking the burning question. Where is Olga?
Who?
She's right here. Hating. They saved the world and ended the war. And this is how you're gonna repay them. Talking about how her and Deus were smashing. Like, bro, relax. Too much information. There's a child right here. And she tries to kill Mithra. But she is stopped by spiderwebs? Hold on. Why is everyone coming back? Because she gets killed by the golden spider, who turns out to be the god of the universe and the holder of all mantra, taking over Mithra's body. But his whole plan was to make Asura a suitable vessel to be the one true god just like him. This includes the creation of the Goma and the death of millions. But he planned and controlled all this to test Asura, and if he failed the test, he would reset the universe and start again until he passes it. And he was manipulating Asura by talking to him throughout the game and practically just making him mad for no reason. But the game had the audacity to put the true ending behind the DLC, which you cannot get on PlayStation. So if you see some new visuals, this is why. So yeah, this guy is beyond powerful. Oh, and his name is Chakravartin, but I'm gonna just call him Chakra. But we both know Asura doesn't care, right? You snatched his daughter away again. He cannot catch a break. But Asura realized that he is the one he needs to kill to be free from his wrath and truly save the world. But Chakra was like, bet, I'll run your fate to test you. And they get to boxing. Asura powers up, entering the mantra form, and spins bro's jaw, but gets blocked. But he leaps back and tries to create an opening, but it's just not possible. He stays weaving and getting blocked, but Mithra distracts him, causing him to get knocked back, but he dashes in and attacks again. But Chakra's got a whole defensive shield. It then really rubs the fact he got his daughter all up in his face. So you know Asura started geeking and starts reaching through the wall. He even enters into his rage mode. But Mithra clocked that bro was gonna kill himself. So she threw out the ninja hand signs and pushed him away, sending him back to Earth. And Asura failed again. But this time it's way worse, as Chakra begins to reset the universe, and we all know Asura is the only one that can stop him, making this an entirely new chapter for Asura and Yasha. But the issue is, Asura low-key died, but Yasha had a plan for that, bringing him to the center of the Karma Fortress, and took out the heart of it, which held 7 million souls worth of mantra, including those of the gods. And now you find out this Asura guy is basically a robot, on some Iron Man stuff. But Yasha also gives up his own mantra, bringing Asura back to life. He sees Chakra standing over the earth, flexing on them, just to catch a right hook from his homeboy. Hold on, not Yasha, bro, what's going on? But Asura is too ready for war. Like, you guys didn't just save the world together. And they just get to scrapping. He hits Yasha with the right, then they clash mid-air, and they both fall off of the pillar. And just so you know, the last time they fought it was a tie, so this one means something. But them boys on the floor laid out just like last time. But they get up and get ready to finish the fight. But Asura gets in a little quicker than Yasha, hitting him back. But he gets back with the right, knocking Asura back. Then they clash both fists and then foreheads. And they get to boxing. But Asura lands a clean gut punch on Yasha, sending him reeling. But he gets right back at it, flying up with a spinning dropkick, which Asura punches. Then knocks him back with the same punch. But these boys come in with their full power, clashing again. But Asura knocks him back again. And please deep this punch. The deepest overhand I've ever seen. But he stumbles out of the wall and starts walking towards Asura, who's charging in. So he's like, bet, I'm charging in too, for the final attack. They're both about to land, but Yasha barely misses and smiled. He knew he was cooked. But for the second time in the entire game, Asura pulled his punch because he realized Yasha was already dead. And Asura finally accomplished his mission from the start of the game, killing all 7 deities at the cost of his friend. Man, that's just a good way to go out there. Yasha, we already miss you, bro. And the final QTE is a fist bump before Yasha faded away. It's just too perfect. Hey, rest in peace, Yasha. But we have to get to the final scrap. There's no time to waste. As you know, Asura had to pull up in style on the front of this cold ship. He'd been waiting for this right here. But Chakra pushes up on Asura too, already shooting beams at him. But Asura counters it with his Iron Man heart and enters his final form, becoming larger than the earth itself. Asura, they destruct her, and he gives Earth one final look. Oh my god, and look who's looking back at him, bro. His wife, Yasha, my goat. August, his mentor. This is just, hold on, Wyzen? Calro and Sergei? Deus and August? Wait, what am I even looking at right now? The people that were actively trying to kill him. They killed his wife. There's a reason you guys are looking up right now, and it's not the right one.
All y'all going ahead.
But we moved though, we moved. Because Asura pulls up, strap all the way to hell in, bro. And let the final scrap commence. But let's see what Asura is really dealing with. This is a whole moon, and he punched clean through it. And then he starts throwing stars at Asura, and he's tanking it. I just want to say that the power creep was insane. But Asura finally gets to Vartan and breaks his face, entering into an entirely different dimension, where Chakra deems Asura worthy to be a god and to protect the universe, while Chakra goes away and guides other worlds. But ultimately, bro finally gets his door back, and this is just way too beautiful, and Asura can become a perfect being. But come here real quick, let me tell you something. Asura does not care about the world. He does not care about being the ultimate being, and I doubt he cares about his door, because he rocks Chakra and says,
Nah, I don't really feel like it.
And if you still think this guy cares about anything but boxing and being mad, you got things twisted. So Chakra's like, bam, give me your door back, snatching her, and they get back to boxing. But Asura started pressing, bro, causing him to destroy the ultimate universe, sending Asura into a freefall, just to realize that whole place was fake, the place Asura met the Golden Spider and went to anytime he was knocked out. But Asura finally breaks through Chakra's defenses, rocking him again. But peep this, bro started throwing a temper tantrum, not the perfect being getting imperfect, and tried to throw hands with Asura. Let me just talk to you guys real quick. I know it's a little bit late in the video, I hope you guys are enjoying it, like and subscribe, all that type of stuff. But do not let a guy like Asura make you act up, because he ate that attack and started going blow for blow with a multiversal god. But per usual, Asura's arms start breaking. And like, this is an everyday occurrence, but with 2 arms left, he leaps up with the meanest uppercut, then started pummeling Chakra. I had him reason with a deep gut check and laid him out on the floor he created. Hey, that's too disrespectful. But Chakra starts geeking again. He got that cartoonish rage. He really got train smoke coming out of his ears, bro. And entered into his final form, coming out of a black hole. And oh nah. The moment bro touched the floor, he changed the arena. That's how you know he's a threat, with one of the strangest forms I've ever seen. And if you thought they were boxing before, this is next level. Asura flies him with a right, but bro thinks he's eyes and stopping him with his finger, pushing Asura out of his new form with just his aura. But Asura does not need forms, he got rage, leading to the coldest encounter in the entire game. Chakra uppercuts Asura, then grabs his wrist and throws him, trying to set him up for the alley, but Asura weaves it, grabbing his arm and slams him, and they get back to it. But Chakra pushes Asura back and tries to hit him with a devious knee, then comes through with the spinning back kick, which he blocks again. But Chakra must have thought he was Gilgamesh, throwing these swords at Asura, and then he must have thought he was Frieza, pushing a death ball at Asura, which Asura punches clean through, and these boys come in for another clash. But that boy Asura is way too quick, landing left hook with the aura pulsing out of it, so he charges in again with the right, but Chakra really absorbed that and starts looking down a lot, bro. But Asura on some next stuff. He keeps pushing through, forcing Chakra to try and stop, bro, but he pushes all the way through, causing his body to start cracking. The perfect being is losing, but he survives, stumbling back. And you know how villains start moving. Oh my god, how is that possible? The usual stuff. But when Asura told bro, this ends now, he's not playing. Let the final scrap begin. But Deepak bro now has button prompts. You better lock in because I'm not pressing them. That's all you right there. But Asura starts with the bread and butter, the clean right hand. But Chakra flicked down, withstanding the blow, coming back with the right of his own, but catches a right kick, countering with a 2-piece. But Asura grabs the leg and slams him, and tries to stomp him, but gets dodged and sweeped. And lock in one more time for me, because these boys start rolling, but Asura tosses Chakra, then grabs the head and slams him again, then leaps up with another slam, then full mounts low, bro, and gets to work with the rights and lefts. And I was looking like Illuminati putting their hands on her, bro. I could not be happier. But Chakra was done with that, flipping the switch on Asura and starts getting his licks in. But Asura grabs his face and gets up, catching a knee and a roundhouse kick, but comes back with a clean right. But this right here was too tough. Chaka flies in with a punch, but Asura slams his forehead right into it, and it started cracking his body, having recoil him because he knows his time was up, because the perfect being's body is failing him, and he had to eat this right with full torque. And at this point, he got brain trauma. He can't even get up. But hold another one though. Yeah. But Chakra finally gets up and lands a blow. But all he did was make Asura angrier than he already is. Asura smacks Bro in the stomach, then follows it up with another uppercut. Then lands one more right hand with 4 replays, just so you know it was calamitous. And really punched his own daughter out of another man, like he was a gumball machine. But Mithra knows something no one else does. If Asura kills him, all Mantra will be lost. She will lose her powers, and Asura will lose his own life. Damn, that's crazy. I just wish she was talking to someone who actually cared. Asura runs clean past her, and even after deeping he will never see his daughter again, he still had the audacity to pull his face right here. Like, relax bro, you're way too excited, and punches clean through half of Chakra's head, had him looking like Whitebeard, finally defeating Chakravartin once and for all. And he finally gets a single moment with his daughter, and you can finally deep he did all this to finally quell his never-ending wrath, and the only way to achieve it was to destroy the very makeup of his own universe and all the gods. Like bro, you could have easily gone to therapy or something, that would have been 1,000 times better. And Mithra lives to tell the tale to all the people of Earth, about her father who freed them from the Goma and the gods allowing them to live in peace and harmony. But that did not last long, as we skip into the future and see Street Fighter characters roaming around. Sooner or later them boys are going to start boxing, and this is most definitely my longest video, so if you boys rocked with it, leave a like and sub up. And if you boys rock with these longer videos, you know, I've got a couple ideas for long videos in the future, and I'm out.